What's going on, guys? Again, last day, hopefully last day to finish dropping the truck. Yesterday took longer than expected. We had one of the shocks frozen up in the rear, and then we dropped the track bars. We pulled the helper springs or the overload springs and the drive shaft. So today we are gonna lift it up in the beginning just to pull the factory 5-inch out of the perches, and then we're going to go ahead and swap it with the 1-inch spacer that was between the main coil pack and the overload or helper spring that was sitting on top. So it's sitting right now at 43.5 inches to get it to, or roughly 43.5, to get it to match the front sitting at 39.5. By my reasoning, I should be able to take the 5-inch block out of it and replace it with a 1-inch block, and that would drop it down 4 inches to match the 39.5 that's in the front. But I guess we're gonna find out. So let's get this done, and then we'll get everything installed, or not installed, but we'll get everything sitting at the right height today. We want to get it as low as possible without running any potential clearance issues, and after talking to several people, they all recommended that the lowest you can go without having any issues that was proven to date was about 2 inches. So we took a coil off in the front to start with, and that only dropped it 1/2 inch. So then we actually took another half coil off because it's a variable spring coil, and that actually dropped it another 1.5 inches with that half coil. So it's sitting 2 inches lower in the front, which is a great ride height in my opinion. So now we are going to jump into lowering the rear, and we're going to have to play with that a little bit. I've been told a couple different things, whether it is just remove both of the rear blocks and run all of your springs, or potentially remove both blocks, the overload and the helper. So we're going to play around with it. We're going to see whichever is level in the rear, and that's where we're going to stay. The truck's never going to tow, never sees any weight in the bed whatsoever. I'm not super worried about any of the leaf springs being removed from the rear. Another quick side note before we begin, I was actually meaning to do this for the longest time. I haven't serviced the transfer case ever. So I've had the truck for 5 years. I know it's something I should have done a long time ago, but for whatever reason I didn't. So in this video, while dropping the rear, I'm actually also going to be removing the drive shaft, and then I'll go ahead and drop the truck and whatnot, and then in a later video I will actually go ahead and service the drive shaft if necessary, and definitely drain and replace the fluid in the transfer case. Just got the truck finished up and lowered. It's sitting where, got a wasp in here flying around. It's sitting where I want it to sit. It's sitting, we started at 41.5 inches in the front. It was a little bit higher in the rear, but now the front's sitting at 39.5 and the rear is actually sitting at 39.75. So it's sitting exactly where I want it to sit. I've still got it chalked up. I need to go buy some new U-bolts in order to secure the rear through the traction bar mounts to the axle. But once that's done, then I can go ahead and lift the front back up, pull the springs back out, and paint it. I'm actually gonna wait to do the leaf springs until I drop the tank, just because the one bolt for the driver's side front mount for the leaf spring is sitting right on the inside of the tank, which is a pretty big design flaw in my opinion. But we'll go ahead and knock some other stuff out in upcoming days. It's sitting, I think it's sitting perfect. It's sitting really mean looking. It's lower, it's wide, it's not super low, but there's no major modifications required. So got some other stuff to do in the near future, but at least now I've got the measurements, so I can go ahead and get new U-bolts, and I can go ahead and buy the new QA1 shocks, and we'll get those mounted up, get some stuff painted. We'll service a couple things, so stick around. We've got a lot to do in the near future. Definitely I'm going to want to hang around. Darren's next video, hopefully as long as the parts come in on time, he's actually going to be knocking out governor springs and valve springs that he got from Kevin over at Full Send Diesel. So definitely be sure to stick around and check that out. If you have any questions on how to do that on a good old 12 valve, then hopefully that video gets any questions answered. He's got other cool things coming up. I know right now he says he wants a 1,000 horsepower tow pig, and he's actually, just today he messaged me saying that he was going to pick up some stuff from the shop to go ahead and start fabbing up some compounds. So definitely stick around and watch some of the good content to come. Appreciate it, guys.